if you are someone who really, really struggles with motivation, so maybe you really struggle to get motivated in the first place, to get into good workout routines, to eat the right things when you know you should, or go into bed at a good time when you know you should go to bed, but then you end up watching the next series and then the next series and the next series. Or if you struggle to maintain your motivation, this is a really important thing to remember. So, I'm going to tell you what you need to remind yourself in the moment. And then I'm also going to tell you what actually affects your motivation. So, if you feel like you're somebody who's completely stuck because you really, really struggle to get motivated and stay motivated, then you need to stay tuned because I'm going to talk to you all about this. So, what you need to remember in the moment is that you always have the power to choose. So, throughout the day, we are making little mini choices that are either taking us closer to where we want to be or further away from where we want to be. So, when you make that decision to watch that extra episode of whatever and go to bed later, yet you know that your energy is really, really rubbish at the moment and you're feeling sluggish, you're making mini choices to get yourself further away from the place that you want to be. When you're saying yes to that biscuit, one biscuit isn't going to change anything. But what you are saying is no to the mindset of just another biscuit and another biscuit and another one. And oh, well, we'll start on Monday. You're saying yes to that mindset and also not keeping the promises that you set for yourself. Again, I'm just using this as an example. You might have one biscuit or two biscuits and be like, yeah, I really enjoyed that. That's fine. Love that. And not have an issue with it at all. Or you might be that person that opens the packet and then feel like you can't stop. And oh, well, because you had the biscuits, then you're going to go and get the chocolate muffins. And then you might as well have the pizza. And what you'll do is start on Monday. That's the mindset that I'm talking about here. Now, we're making mini decisions all the way throughout our day. So when you're making that decision that, oh, you know what, I don't feel like doing a workout today, I'll do it tomorrow. Is that taking you closer to where you want to be and the person you want to become or further away? What you want to do is start acting like the person you want to become. So this year, if you've set it yourself the target of, I'm going to get stronger, what would that stronger version of you do? You would write down that I'm going to do 2 to 3 strength workouts a week. I'm going to get on it. And then you're going to get on with it and do it, right? It's going to pull up your big girl panties and just get it done. Or maybe this year you said, my New Year's resolution is to have more energy. Or maybe it's to lose a little bit of weight. Are you making decisions throughout your day that is getting you closer to the place that you want to be and the person you want to be or further away? Maybe your New Year's resolution is I want to be less stressed and I want to be more present. Are you making space and time in your day? Are you doing workouts, for example, like yoga or like some meditation or some relaxed Pilates that are going to give you that space and that mind body time? Are you taking a moment to journal at the end of the day? Are you doing these small acts that will take you closer to where you want to be? Or are you ignoring that? Start acting like the person you want to become. And just remember that in the moment, you always have the power to choose. For example, if it's a case of food, you are the only person who will put food into your mouth. You quite literally have the power in your hands of what you put into your body. So when you're telling yourself that, oh no, I'm not that kind of person. I really struggle to stay motivated. I really struggle to do this. I'm an all or nothing. You're giving yourself that label and you're also giving yourself permission to be an all or nothing person. When in actual fact, the power is quite literally in your hands with what you do and what you put into your mouth. The same goes with exercising. You are in charge, and yes, I understand we have constraints and we have barriers, but you are in charge of how you move and when you move your body. So always remember that you have the power. A lot of us go through life with this victim mindset. Like, oh, I have kids, so I don't have time. Or I have a really busy job, so I can't do that. Or I'm an all or nothing. And you make yourself a victim. I'm not saying you personally, but I don't know, maybe you can resonate with this. We go through life with a victim mindset, when in actual fact, we are responsible for our actions. We really, truly are responsible for our actions. We can't help what happens to us, but we definitely have a choice on how we respond to what happens to us. So if you find that you are really, really stuck for time, maybe you've got kids, maybe you've got a really, really busy job, whatever it might be, you can't help that you have a busy job. You can't help the fact that you have kids. And a lot of your time is spent maybe taxiing them around, feeding them, making sure they've had a bath, depending on how old your kids are, of course. But what you can do is say, okay, given the hours in my day, given my circumstances, given my week, I now have to choose where I'm going to put and prioritize my health. You have to think what's important for you. Is it important for you to be healthy for your kids, to be around for a long time, to be able to run around with them, or maybe grandkids, depending on, if you have kids or grandkids, or maybe it's just for you and for yourself and be healthy for your partner, whatever it might be. Are you making choices in your week to get yourself closer to that person? So if you have time constraints and you have time barriers, okay, we can't help that. But what can we do? What can we do about it? How can we choose where we do our workouts? We get our plan out for the week. This is why I always tell my squaddies, journal. Use your journal, your online journal, plan your classes for the week ahead. Where can you schedule in that you time? Because you know it's important to you to stay fit and healthy, to have good quality life, and to be around for your partner, your kids, or your grandkids. Therefore, you must make the time for your health and fitness. Where are you going to put that into your week? So we have a choice on how we respond to what's going on, and we have that responsibility. And sometimes it's a case of adulting ourselves. So rather than having that victim mindset, oh, I've just got no time, well, you do have time. It's just how are you going to prioritize that time, and how are you going to make sure you fit in the things that are important to you? And if your health and fitness is important, then you've got to fit it in. Now, if you're watching this and you're saying, yeah, okay, Lorna, that's all very well and good, but I really struggle with motivation. Like, I'm just not that kind of person like you who gets up and you're motivated. Now, no one is 100% motivated all the time. I just want to point that out. And it is a case of being disciplined a lot of the time. Like, for me personally, I plan my workouts for the week ahead, just like I tell everybody else. I'm leading by example. I quite literally am. And because I've made those appointments with myself and those promises to myself, I show up. I make sure I do that. It's important to me. It's important for my physical well-being, my emotional well-being, my mental health. And it's important that I keep the promises I make to myself so that I actually trust myself and build that relationship up with myself too. So I will always be there. If I've set that workout, I will be there. And if for whatever reason I can't because something's cropped up, I'll just move it. I just move it to the next available slot. And it's important there to have some range targets. So I say to my squaddies, and particularly if you're just starting with us, maybe start off with 3 workouts as your absolute non-negotiable minimum, but maybe ideally you'd be getting 4 or 5 in there. And then when you've been with us for a while, you might increase that by a little bit, 1 or 2. But then you always make sure that it's you never lose. It's always a win because you always hit that non-negotiable 3 no matter what happens. And or whatever that number is for you that you know that you can realistically definitely make, you do that, and then it's always a win, and you're always working with yourself as opposed to against yourself. And then if you end up hitting the optimal higher number that you think, oh, I could possibly do this, it'd be a bit of a push, but I know I can, then great, then that's a win as well. But anyway, if you struggle with motivation, this is what I'd like you to do and like you to have a think about, maybe over today or over the next couple of days. So firstly, you need to think about what you actually care about. What is important to you? Is it important to you to have more of a toned look, and why? Why do you want that toned look? And then it's really important to go a bit deeper into it, I think. So why do you want to look toned and shapely? Or because I want to look at myself in the mirror and feel really confident in my own skin and radiate energy. Why do you want this? Why do you want to be able to just go out and on a run, or go out and do a combat workout or a HIIT workout or a sculpt workout or whatever it might be? Why is it important to you to be able to do those things? Well, because I want longevity in my life. I want to be healthy for my family, for my kids, and for me, because I don't want to get to my 60s or 70s and be so stiff and so immobile that I can't enjoy my later years. You've got to think about what's important to you. Ask yourself why. So, what do you actually care about? What do you give a stuff about? So, that's the first thing. And that will keep reminding yourself about why it's important to you. And ask yourself why a few times so you can get to the deeper level. So, a lot of people say, oh, why am I working out? Oh, because I want to lose 3 pounds, right? Why? What do you think is going to happen when you get there? What is actually going to happen? How is your life going to change in any way when you get there? What is it about that number? Why do you want to do that? And some reasons, sometimes it might not be an actual reason, and then you need to think, okay, well, what is it then? It's not the 3 pounds, so why do I actually want to do this? And maybe it's a case of proving to yourself that you can do it and that you trust yourself and you set yourself these goals and then you manage to hit them and you're building that relationship with yourself. Or maybe you think that when I lose those 3 pounds, I'm going to have more energy. So then your further goal is the reason why you're doing it is because you want more energy. And that's in line with your values because if you have more energy, you can enjoy life more. You can jump out of bed with energy. You can do all the things that you want to do. So, firstly, ask yourself why. What do you care about? And then, secondly, the key to maintaining this motivation, it's in the way that you perceive it. So, perceive the thing. For example, working out. Are you telling yourself that, I have to do 3 workouts this week because I know that I should and I don't want to and it's a drag? Or are you perceiving it as, I am so lucky that I get to work out. So rather than I have to work out, I get to work out and I get to move my body, and that's going to feel amazing. Anna said, discovering your why is so powerful. It is, Anna. And do you know, when people first say this, you think, oh, do you know what? It's a bit wish-washy, this why thing. But it's actually really important. It's reminding yourself what you actually care about, what is important to you. And if it's important to you to have good quality life and to be able to do all the things that you want to do forever, then health and fitness is really important to you. So that's why you need to move your body. I mean, we need to move our body for good quality life anyway. Like, if you don't move your body, you will not be healthy. You will be sending yourself to an early grave. And if you don't want to do that, then you've got to move your body. Anna said, the difference between sticking to it and giving up. Yeah, you're so right. It really, really is. And when you're feeling like you have no motivation and you just, you don't want to do it and you've got no energy, you just remind yourself of why you're actually doing it. And sometimes that might be difficult in the moment. And what I always say is, what you want to start off is with your why. And then you've got to think about how you perceive it. So as opposed to, I have to work out, it's, I get to work out. I get to move my body. And this is amazing. This is good. And I know that I will feel so good for when I do this. And what's the alternative? The alternative is I don't do it. I don't get any closer to where I want to be. I don't get any closer to the person that I want to be. And actually, I'm just destroying the relationship with myself and how I feel about myself. So whether I want to do it or not, I'm going to do it based on that and based on that knowledge and just reminding yourself about that. I think that's really, really important. But sometimes what you need to do, and this is important as well, is build good routines and habits. Like, I don't really like the word habit so much. But what I do with my squaddies is, with the live workouts anyway, we do the workouts Monday to Friday at the same time every single day so that you can just make it part of your daily routine. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go to those live workouts, but what I am saying is build fitness into your daily routine. So if you're somebody who struggles with motivation and being able to stick at something, if you make it part of what you just do, eventually you don't really think about it so much. You just do it because it's part of you and what you just do in a day. Now, it does take a while to get to that point. So we've got to start somewhere. So just do a little bit of groundwork. What do you care about? Think about that. And start to see exercise in a different way. How do you perceive it? Take little steps at a time. If you perceive it as something that is so big to you and kind of overwhelming, start with 5 or 10 minutes and build it up from there and make it manageable. Put it into small manageable chunks, and then make it something that you enjoy. So you don't have to be going to a gym and slogging it out on the weights or getting a PT and being really bored. There are so many workouts you can do. Find what you enjoy, start off small and build it up from there. And then all of a sudden you'll perceive exercise to be this incredible thing that makes you feel good and something where you really, really see yourself progressing. And do you know what? That is motivation in itself. Action creates motivation and not the other way around. So if you're sat around waiting for motivation with this victim mindset, then what you need to do is give yourself a good talking to. Remind yourself why you want to get to where you want to get. Why is health and fitness really important to you? Ask yourself why 3 times. What are your goals? Why do you want to do them? Start to take action and start to see it in a different way. So when you finish a workout, let's say you start with 5 or 10 minutes. When you finish that, how do you feel? Probably wasn't that bad, was it? You probably feel quite good for doing it. And after a few weeks and you see your progress and how far you've come, then you'll just feel even better. And every day when you're in that moment and you feel like you're struggling to make good decisions, think about, okay, are these little choices that I make over the day, because we constantly make little choices about what we do, what food we eat, what time we go to bed, how we move our bodies, whether we go out for a walk or not. We're constantly making these mini choices. Are these mini choices getting me any closer to where I want to be, or are they taking me further away from that? Please comment below if you found this useful and inspiring in some way. I would love to know. And if you are in this place where you are struggling to get started and you don't know where to get started, then please do get in touch. We are starting our 6-week January 2024 challenge where we'll be helping you do just this on the 15th of January. But we're already over half full. So make sure you get in touch ASAP. Comment here Jan24 or message me Jan24 and then I can send you a few details all about it. Anyway, happy Saturday, everyone, and have a lovely, lovely weekend. I'll speak to you soon.